All right, let's talk about that podcast idea you've been kicking around. You know the one. Today, we're going to break down how you can actually bring it to life, and you won't be doing it alone. You'll have a powerful AI co-pilot right there with you.
So, what's the one thing that stops most of us? It's that classic problem, the blank page. It's just staring back at you. You've got the passion, for sure, but then you think, ideas? Structure? A script? Ugh, it can feel like a total roadblock. Well, this is where things get interesting. Meet your new creative partner. And I'm not talking about just another tool. Chatgpt is an AI that can literally work with you on everything, from that first tiny spark of an idea all the way to the tweet you send out to promote your finished episode. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about sparking that core idea. This is the bedrock, right? It's all about figuring out what your show is really about and the best way to present it. Get this right, and everything else gets a whole lot easier. And you know what? It all starts with just talking to it. Seriously, you can just throw a simple prompt to ChatGPT based on what you're into. Something like, hey, suggest some podcast topics about tech and business for beginners. And boom, just like that, you've got a whole list of directions you could take your show. Now, here's what's so cool about this. The AI isn't just spitting out a generic list. Nope, it helps you find a unique angle. And see how we mentioned for beginners? That little detail tells the AI to skip the complicated jargon and break things down simply. Think about how much editing time that saves you down the road. It's huge. All right, so you've got a topic you're fired up about. Awesome. But now, how are you going to deliver it? Is it an interview show, a solo deep dive? You can actually ask ChatGPT to help you weigh the options and find the format that just feels right for you and your content. And check this out. It can lay out a super clear comparison for you. Just seeing the pros and cons listed like this, side by side, it suddenly makes that big decision about your show's format feel way less intimidating. Okay, concept and format, nailed it. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of actually building an episode. We're talking about going from a simple outline to a full-blown script. This is usually the real heavy lifting part of the process, but your AI co-pilot is about to make it a lot easier. You can think of it as a simple three-step flow, all guided by prompts you give the AI. First, you'll generate some concrete episode ideas. Then, you'll have it create a solid outline. And finally, you'll get it to write the whole script for you. So, let's say your podcast is all about AI in healthcare. A prompt like this one is perfect. It's specific, and in return, you get a list of actual, detailed episode ideas. Suddenly, that feeling of, what am I going to talk about next week, just disappears. Okay, you've picked an episode idea. Now you need a roadmap to make sure it doesn't ramble. A prompt like this tells ChatGPT to build out the structure for you. And trust me, a good outline is absolutely key to keeping your listeners hooked and your story making sense. And this is the kind of thing you get back. A really logical structure. You've got your intro to hook 'em, a couple of key points to build your case, and a solid conclusion to wrap it all up. This right here, this is the skeleton of a really pro-sounding episode. And for the final magic trick, once you've got that outline, you just ask ChatGPT to flush it all out. This prompt takes those bullet points and transforms them into a full narrative script that you can take right into your recording session. Pretty amazing, right? But let's be real, the job isn't done just because you hit stop on the recording. Now you got to package the whole thing up. You've got to polish it so people can actually find it, and really connect with it. And again, your co-pilot can help here. With just one prompt, you can generate all that essential text you need for publishing. We're talking a killer description to pull in new listeners and great show notes to give your existing audience some extra value. Yeah, it's kind of like two sides of the same coin, right? That description is your storefront window. It's what makes people want to come inside. And the show notes? That's the helpful guide for people who are already there and want to know more. Oh, and if you're doing an interview show, this is a game changer. You can lean on your AI co-pilot to do your prep work. Have it generate a list of smart, relevant questions for your guest. This is how you make sure you're having a really deep, engaging conversation, instead of just scratching the surface. All right, your episode is polished and ready to go. So now for the final, crucial step, launching and promotion. I mean, you made something great. It deserves to be heard. And yep, you guessed it, ChatGPT can help you craft the perfect message to get the word out. Now this is a seriously efficient prompt. Check it out. You're not just asking for a tweet to promote the episode. You're also telling it to build in a call to action to get people to subscribe. You're doing two jobs at once. And what you look at that? You get back a catchy, totally ready to post tweet, hashtags and all. This is the kind of stuff that actually cuts through the noise on a busy social media feed.
But here's a really important pro tip. With any AI, it's garbage in, garbage out, right? The quality of what you get back is 100% dependent on the quality of what you ask it. So learning to write better prompts is how you truly master this copilot.
And this slide just says it all. A vague prompt like write a podcast script is going to get you a vague, probably useless result. But look at the specific one. It's got the length, the format, the topic, the key points. That is how you get something back that's actually helpful.
So just remember these 3 things for writing better prompts. 1, be specific. 2, give it some context, like who your audience is. And 3, don't be afraid to try again. If the first answer isn't quite right, just rephrase your question. Think of it as guiding the conversation until you get what you need.
When you team up with an AI copilot like this, that scary blank page, it's not a barrier anymore. It's an invitation. The entire creative process, from that first idea all the way to promoting your launch, is right at your fingertips. So really, there's only one question left. What are you going to create?